Musselman. Bob, get us started, please.
Hey, Eric, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Bob?
I'm good. Hey, no surprise that you guys are in the Sweet 16, but maybe a bit of a surprise that you're the only SEC team to make it. Well, how do you feel about being the only SEC team in there? And I guess what that says about you guys, and are you surprised by some of the other teams that didn't advance?
Yeah, I mean, I think number one, it's just so hard to make the tournament. That's what fans, media, it's really difficult. Our league was really represented so well by the number of teams that got into the tournament. And then it's really hard to win a game in the tournament. It's really hard. And so, we're happy we're still alive and we're still playing and we still giving ourselves an opportunity to compete. Having said that, I think over the course of the entire season that the SEC is still as good as any conference in college basketball. And I think that'll be proven on draft day with the number of talented players that get drafted, just like the last few years where we have more draft picks than any conference.
And you guys were the last SEC team left last year. You and Alabama made the Sweet 16, and you guys advanced. They didn't out of that. I guess how proud are you of that, or what do you think about that being the last SEC team left 2 straight years?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a credit to how hard our guys have played, and I think everybody plays hard, but we got hot at the right time. We kept getting better during the course of the year. We were really, really challenged at the end of the year, and with arguably, it wasn't my words, but we had as difficult schedule as anybody in college basketball down the stretch, and we were able to play as well as anybody down the stretch. And so I think it's a big time, credit to our players that they continue to get better. I thought, defensively, we're probably at our best the last time we got out and competed against New Mexico State.
And then playing a team as good as Gonzaga, the number 1 overall seed, you've got such a good record in college when you've had, I think it's 4 more days to prepare. What do you think is the key to that? And does that help maybe give you a little extra confidence even going against a team like this?
Well, I mean, they present a lot of problems. That's why, they're the number 1 seed, and we have a really challenge ahead of us in a lot of different areas, both offensively and defensively. So the prep is not what it seems really, Bob, because, our travel's challenging. I mean, we were delayed yesterday. We didn't get home. And we played the night before and we didn't get home till about 18 hours after the game, which was a shock to me. I was hoping to go see the baseball game, and I was lucky to see the last game of the tournament, I felt like, last night by the way the travel ended. And now, we practice today. We still don't know what time we leave tomorrow. Gonzaga's, as I've mentioned in the past, they've been on the Pacific time zone for a long time because every team in their conference is in one time zone, to my knowledge. And so, they have a short travel from their site. So we lose a little bit, I think, preparation time just based on how the schedule is going to lay out and the time change and the travel and so on.
Okay, thanks. I might have a couple more. I'll get back to Mike. Thanks, Eric.
Dudley.
Coach, you've got a couple of guys, Jordan and Nick, playing in the McDonald's All-American game next Tuesday night. Can you talk about how proud you are of them and how hard that is of an achievement, as well as Darian winning his 3rd and Barry and Joseph also having very good years?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting class, but there's always an adjustment period too, with our philosophy and the way that we do things in the summer. But, obviously, to make a McDonald's game and to have the talent level coming in across the board is exciting. They're all following this NCAA run and texting before games and after games. And I know that all of them are extremely excited to get on campuses as quick as possible.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dudley.
Christina.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Stan and what you remember about kind of recruiting him out of the transfer portal and what you saw from him when he was at South Dakota.
Yeah, it just felt like, we really had to get a 6'6", 6'7" versatile player based on, how important Tate and Justin Smith were to us. Both Stan and Adise were, the two really focal points in the transfer market for us. Because of the two players that we lost, we just felt like we had to be able to replace that. And then you add in the thought process of losing Moses Moody. And so those three guys, if we don't get those two guys, then we probably, take a step back. But we lost three really talented players, all in that 6'6" range. And we replaced them with two. And then we had some players like Jalen Williams really improve. And that's why, and JD's improved. And that's why, off an Elite Eight team, we continue to get better, I think,
And then I know we've talked about his defense recently and how that's been a big growth point for him, but I wondered if there's anything else you feel like he really brings to the table or has improved on this season.
Yeah, I think really the two biggest things, Christina, are his ball handling. We put him in some ball handling situations of late. And we didn't run many of them, but leading up to the last game, we had Stanley handling the ball a little bit more in pick and rolls and behind closed doors. Again, we didn't run much of that package, but we were preparing for it. So we're even adding this late in the season stuff for Stan. But defensively, he's been absolutely phenomenal and really improved as much as anybody on the defensive end and then as a ball handler. And rebounding.
Nate.
Stan, seems like Trey Wade's kind of disappeared in the last few games. How important to get more and better minutes out of him against a team like Gonzaga?
Well, I think Trey Wade is a guy that can do a lot of different things. He's one of our highest graders in doing all the intangibles. And based on what happens with foul trouble or based on matchups or based on how we want to play, we went small last game during stretches because we wanted to pressure the ball and felt like we needed to cause some turnovers, which obviously we did. Trey is more of a disciplined defender. He's more of a guy that guards his guy and is a great weak side help defender and gives us physicality. So in the last game, there was nothing that he did wrong. It was more us just trying to become a little bit more pressure oriented and maybe a little bit smaller.
Just as far as Gonzaga, I mean, you had kind of tried to defend a one-man gang this last game. How different is it with so many weapons that they have?
Yeah, they have a lot. That's why they're a team that, everybody's talking about being a championship, contender, and certainly they've been ranked number one or in the top 5 for a lot of this season, and deservedly so. And they do have a lot of weapons. They have a potential number 1 lottery pick in Holmgren, and Timmy's been as good as any interior player in the entire country. Those two run a great high-low game together. At the point guard position, we played against, number 3 Nevenhard now when he was at Florida, and I was at Nevada in an NCAA tournament, and obviously have seen him and what he can do in pick and roll packages. He does a great job of advancing the ball, even after made baskets. He's one of the smartest point guards in college basketball. He's really improved as a 3-point shooter. Strother, number 0, is really they bring him off screens. He's got deep range. He can catch and shoot with quickness. And then 45, Bolton, is a really good 3-point shooter who's got good range. And they come off the bench with Watson, who can play multiple positions. So this team is really talented and as good as anybody in the country. So you're gonna have to play at an elite level to give yourself a chance to win.
Thank you.
Nick.
Can't help but notice the shirt. How nice is it to be going back to San Francisco for you, Michael, your family, to be able to play in a place that's familiar and that's home to you?
Yeah, I mean, this is all, this is really about, the players. It always is. Every time you get to an NCAA tournament, it's a once in a lifetime experience for the guys. Obviously, I feel really fortunate having, been a part of tournaments, whether it be the Elite 8 run last year or Sweet 16 run at Nevada, and having played in the NCAA tournament on 2 different occasions when I was at USD. So I've fortunately been a part of a lot of these in a short amount of time in college basketball. But, to not say that going back to, to the Bay Area special would not be truthful. It is extremely special. My mom has not seen me coach a game at Arkansas. At her age, it's a little bit, problematic to travel and change planes. But living in San Diego, she's going to be able to come watch us play on Thursday, which is really, really cool and extremely special to me. And I have a lot of friends and close people that I worked with that are still with the Warriors, and have a lot of people that are coming to the game. My ticket request, I could probably add up every game in the last 3 years and put every game together. And I've had more ticket requests for this one game. And it's really hard. Like I have a cousin named Chris Anderson, and it's really painful to tell him to go online and try to buy a ticket because he's one of my best friends, but I'm out of my allotment. So a shout out to his nickname's Goose, a shout out to Goose that I can't hook him up with tickets. But that I'm out. I don't know. They only give you so many tickets, man. And so you gotta, it's hard because there are a lot of people that I'd love to get tickets to.
Got to give one to your mom. Do you remember the last time?
My mom is getting a ticket out of my allotment. I promise that.
Do you remember the last time that last one she was at?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she was at, anytime we had a big game at Nevada. She came to quite a few because it's a easy Southwest Airlines flight from San Diego to Reno. And we played so many games. We tried to always play a game in Staples Center, which she could drive to, which is a little of the reason why we played in Staples, to be honest. But this is the first time in over 3 years that she'll be able to watch, and it'll be, not just me, but having her grandchild Michael on staff is important too. And yeah, it's really cool. It really is. I mean, it's not the arena that I coached in with the Warriors, but it's certainly the same organization. And I look forward to bringing the team there and being able to tell them some stories about some of the things that have happened there.
Watch.
Coach, something that Jalen said after the game on Saturday was that he was really excited to be back in the Sweet 16, but it's almost become a new standard for Arkansas. I was curious what your thoughts are on that statement, and would you agree with that?
I guess it doesn't matter what I think because, when the day before the game, when you're hearing, hey, if you don't make a Sweet 16, it's a failed season. And, we've had an incredible season. You play 30 games or whatever you play in a regular season. The way that our guys have finished the season, meaning the regular season was absolute. I mean, it was an incredible run in front of sellouts and And then you just take this game by game. And, you know, I mean, we have a unique perspective in how we've tried to prepare, but also be able to have a lot of fun together. Like, none of us want this to end, meaning coaches, staff, players. We know our fans are having fun. I mean, I went and got my hair cut today, and everybody was talking about, you know, the game Thursday. I just got back from lunch. Like, there's a incredible buzz. There was some people waiting at the airport when we landed. I don't know how they withstood the delays. But it's awesome. Like, you know, you never can take for granted how hard it is, like I said, to make the tournament. Look at all the teams in day one that didn't advance, that were great teams or great programs. And then look how many teams now that we're down to 16. I'm talking unbelievable programs with great talent and great regular seasons that aren't playing. And look, we're playing a team that a lot of people think are going to win the national championship. And not many people, I shouldn't say not many, no one's talking about Arkansas even having a chance in this game. I mean, I got two good eyes, and my internet works really good. I got great connection, and I haven't found anybody that is even giving us a chance to be in the, you know, to be in the same arena with Gonzaga. So it's a great challenge for sure against a team that, like I said, has the number one seed overall for a reason, because they deserved it based on their play. And we got to have a couple good days of prep and try to get as fresh as we possibly can and see what happens.
Dudley, real quick, and then Bob.
But yeah, Hutch, it's a new standard.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned the signees texting and all that. Can you quantify just the success that y'all had and how that translates into, you know, future success?
Well, I think that last year's Elite Eight run, I don't think there's any doubt how that coincided with a recruiting class that we have coming. What happens when you win like this is some guys are scared. I shouldn't say scared. Some recruits might not want to compete, you know. Others, like the guys we got, want to compete and want to play with really good teammates and want to play for Sweet 16s. And but I think it really, really helps, especially for the real true competitors. You know, and then, like I said, maybe some other guys would, you know, maybe not want to be in a situation where they're playing with other good teammates and, you know, teams that don't make NCAA tournaments and stuff. But certainly we feel like the guys that have committed here, I mean, they watched the Elite Eight run last year, and now they're watching this run, and hopefully that helps motivate them to get ready for what's in store for the summer.
Thanks again.
Bob, real quick.
Yeah, Eric, I heard you say on the radio the other day that, you know, that your last Nevada team was so good, but they didn't have fun, and you wanted to make sure these guys had fun. How fun has it been not to have to be in the bubble and be able to do some of the activities? And I assume maybe you have some fun stuff planned for the guys in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, it's way better than the bubble. It's not even comparable. Yeah, I mean, I think our guys are having fun. I mean, every you know, we tried to eat out, not eat in the hotel as much as we possibly could when we were in Buffalo. You know, we had some great meals. We had some great interactions with fans. It was a unique sight, I thought, because there was, especially after the first night of games, you know, it turned into, you know, basically just college basketball fans. There was not a lot of fans from New Mexico State. There probably wasn't a lot of Razorback fans that were able to make it there. And so we had a building full of just kind of neutral college basketball fans. And Even when I was out watching the first game, the interaction was really cool. You know, but our guys are going to get an opportunity too, Bob, not just off the floor stuff, but they're going to get an opportunity to play in maybe the best arena that we have in basketball, because it is an incredible state-of-the-art building in an incredible city. Most of our guys have not spent a second in San Francisco, as has some of our staff. It's going to be a lifetime experience for our guys without a question.
You got some activities planned, going to the Golden Gate Bridge or Alcatraz or something?
I mean, it's really hard to schedule anything when you don't know what time you leave yet. I don't know if we're leaving in the morning, at night, in the middle of the night. I mean, as soon as we find out what time we're traveling, then maybe I have enough off-site practice sites that if we need extra time allotment, that I've got all those lined up, but no outside activities until I get a confirmation on schedules.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you have to do something fun. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.